A little bit of an update on my gardening. These are chives right now. Gotta water them a lot. This is my resurrected garlic, this guy right here, growing with this plant I cannot recognize. It's strange as all heck. That came out of the forest soil I dug up. Anyway, they're doing fine. And I'll just move on over here. I decided to use an old dog food bag. I opened the bottom and the top. And I just used this electric fence stakes to kind of keep the bag open while I filled it up with compost and whatever I could that looked like soil around here as a growing medium. Dumped some Miracle Grow on it, and these seem to be doing fine. I think it needs a little bit more Miracle Grow based on the color of the parsley that I planted with it. But these guys have really perked up, the tomatoes. This is like the disaster way to plant tomatoes. I got this small planter and I put in, I think, 6 tomatoes into this thing, and whatever soil I had, like garden soil and some of the old stuff that was sitting there, and they're really doing pretty good. I mean, they wilt real fast. I have to water them quite a bit, but all I did was put them in this patio area. You know, it's narrow, shade from the house, shade from the carport. However, this time of year the sun hits them for quite a bit of the day because it's almost directly above. So anyhow, these guys are doing the best ever. I just can't believe it. Just got to keep an eye on the moisture and give it a lot of Miracle Grow. Look at the size of these tomatoes, just going crazy. And I'm stringing them up with this baling twine that's tied to baling twine. It's tied to the posts on the carport. And whenever a part of the tomato flops down, I just tie it up using a piece of sock to hold the plant up. My thought is that if I get it to grow up, it'll keep catching the sun as the sun starts going more towards the south again, and it'll follow the sun instead of being stuck in the shade. There's more. Hold on. Okay, this is my wood chip garden I started last year. The weeds are kind of like coming into the side, but I planted tomatoes here too. Same batch I had in that planter, and they're really short, but they are setting tomatoes. Tomatoes getting to be pretty good size here for being such small plants, just not a ton of them. There's a couple of sickly ones. There's one that kind of like flopped to the ground. I'll have to figure out some way to tie that straight up. But for the most part, look at this tomato plant. A short little tomato plant. It's got one big tomato on it. I just planted these cherry tomatoes. They're doing great, gangbusters. What I did there was did a post hole digger, dug down about 6-7 inches, threw garden soil in there, and covered it up. And they're growing like crazy. Here's some later plantings of some extras I had laying around. Looks like they're doing pretty good. I planted this one when I planted that one. And then, of course, I got 4 cabbage plants. One of them seems to be attacked by bugs, much more so than others. I threw some wood ashes on it to see if that would keep the bugs off. I don't think so. But I got 4 cabbage plants, and then I have this real sickly cauliflower. I don't know what happened to it, but it got attacked. And then I got 2 more growing here, doing okay. There's more. These are raspberries that I've been taking over for years. Last year I didn't get very many raspberries, but this year they seem to be doing pretty good. I haven't picked for a couple days, and so there's a lot that are overripe, but they taste good right now. And what I have to water them is basically this hose. Oops, it fell off. See all that water coming out of my air conditioner? I try to get the water to go towards where the raspberries are to moisten the soil. This is a cantaloupe. It was sitting in the planter, you know, in the packet in the short little packet for a long time. It's short. I decided to dig another post hole, throw some soil in it, and it's now starting to grow like gangbusters. I guess it had to break through the root-bound condition, but now it's going to be going all over. I will throw wood chips under this as I get a chance. I decided to go to a tree that fell down a long time ago and just plant whatever I had extra there. Here's another cantaloupe I planted just a little while ago, and it's starting to pick up. Same with this plant. I think once they get in the real soil, they find their place and they start growing. And believe it or not, that's a watermelon. It came out of old seeds that really weren't very productive. There's my second watermelon. That's starting to come around now. And this is another cantaloupe. I figured, what the heck, see what happens. There's more. Well, anyway, I had a couple more tomato plants. I just planted them back here by the shed that's falling apart. And this tomato here I thought was dead, and all of a sudden it showed up again, and it's got a tomato on it. And this is another one I had extra. I'm going to have tomatoes up the yang-yang, I think. And there's more. Okay, so I had some eyes on the potato that was growing sprouts, and I decided I was going to do something with them. And for the most part, those sprouts didn't do anything, but I do have potatoes. There's one growing out of my wood chip pile. There's another one right there. And of course, I had a big wad left and I feel like digging. And so I planted this whole bunch of eyes. I don't know if you see it. Where are they? There they are. Anyway, some of them seem to do pretty good. They're turning green. This wood chip pile stays moist, so I don't have to water them too much. Here's some miracle grow in there. I think this batch I had a little garden soil added, but not much. But they're doing good too. I got them kind of like planted all over the place. Some made it, some didn't. Some will come, some won't. But that's okay. So that's my gardening effort so far this year. And of course, can't forget my rocket stove. I'm cooking on it. It works just fine. So playing around with all these different parts works pretty good. I'm happy. That's it.